Hi everyone, Rick Eddy here from Carl Sandburg College, Director of Admissions and Records here, and I guess unofficial transfer coordinator. And today we have a familiar face with us. Wendy Downing is from Monmouth College. She is the Associate Director of Admissions and also kind of unofficially transfer counselor. We all kind of throw that into our titles without official and pay involved with that. So Wendy, thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Rick.
Basically what we're doing is we're just kind of talking about Monmouth College today. So why don't you tell me what's new around there, and we'll just kind of go from there.
Yeah, newer on campus. I feel like maybe everyone knows this, but you never know. We do have 3 new majors: engineering, data science, and neuroscience. Engineering's probably been the most popular for our incoming transfer students of those 3, but all the programs are doing really well. They're very interdisciplinary, working with multiple departments on campus, and we've seen some good success with those 3. I should also mention, along with that, some of our more popular majors, not new necessarily, but more of the more popular majors on campus are business, education, psychology, and exercise science are also pretty popular. With those 4, good news is it's easy to transfer in after completing your associate's degree and still graduating in 2 years at Monmouth. So most popular majors on campus also happen to be the most popular majors for our incoming transfer students and definitely the students from Carl Sandburg. Otherwise, I mean, I probably should mention everything in the world we're living with visits, classes on campus, everything like that. We have been hosting on-campus classes throughout the fall semester, and that's the plan for the spring as well. Everyone's going to come back, move in, and classes will be, for the most part, on campus like they would in a normal year. We are also hosting on-campus visits along with that. Of course, we have limited the number of those. We're usually doing only 2 visitors or so at a time, but we are offering a couple time slots throughout the day. So students, as you're looking at schools, definitely consider us. You're close by, and you can come visit, meet with a professor, tour campus, everything like that. And also new related to that, of course, we're doing everything virtually. We have virtual visits if that works better. We have virtual mini classes, that's new. Those, like there's one tonight, for example, where a communication professor is hosting. It works with like emojis in the communication and marketing world. So that's one that's new. We had an exercise science professor last week do one, like how much exercise is enough? Newsflash, we're not doing enough probably for exercise, but it was still interesting to hear from a faculty member about that. So yeah, a lot of new things, a lot of things are staying the same, but a lot of good things happening on campus.
No, we are not doing enough, Wendy. Yes, we are not doing enough. And with your new majors, are those up and running already, or any of those starting up in fall 21?
Yeah, those are all up and running. They were implemented, gosh, I don't know, a year or 2 ago. So they're still, those upper level classes are being offered now, and we're definitely moving through. So yeah.
Most students, I should say probably all students, are concerned about finances and money. Can you talk a little bit about scholarships that are available for transfer students and maybe transfer admissions requirements?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely hear that question. I think that's the first question everyone has, so I definitely understand. Also, I think the sticker price of many of the colleges, the private colleges in the state, is a little scary, I guess, for lack of a better word. So yeah, we do offer a lot of financial aid. 99% of our students do receive financial aid in some sort. That will start at time of admission. Typically, we do look for a 2.5 transferable GPA. Of course, the scholarships increase as your GPA increases, but the lower end of the scholarship, 17.5, and then the highest is 22,000. And just to give you an idea, tuition alone is 42,000. Obviously, many of your students will commute, so they will only be responsible for the tuition costs. Total cost for students living on campus is closer to 52. But either way, there's that academic scholarship that ranges up to 22,000. Also, for students in Phi Theta Kappa, we do have a PTK scholarship that ranges up to 2,000, and that's on top of that academic scholarship. What else? We continue to have the Bagpipe Scholarship. Of course, we have the Bagpipe Band on campus. Gotta love the pipes. So there is a scholarship for that. And then the last scholarship that comes to mind from us directly is the Wallace Founder Scholarship. That's the full tuition scholarship competition for students with a 3.2 or higher. As a reminder, for that, a resume and essay is required, and also an interview. For students interested in transferring next fall, the interviews will be occurring virtually, of course, in February. So I think those are the big scholarships for us. A unique thing is we do offer need-based grants. So similar to the MAP grant, Pell Grant, we'll offer additional Monmouth College grants on top of some of those things, and that's based on the FAFSA. And then I should mention also some private scholarships. I think a lot of times students look at those when they're in high school and they kind of forget about that process. So there's, of course, the Mellinger Scholarship for all local students. There's also a couple other private scholarships for like the private Illinois colleges and universities, Illinois Association College for Admission Counseling, IACAC, I screwed up that acronym, but look for those too.
It's our secret, yes. Many Sandburg students may or may not know that we, Sandburg, have partnerships with many four-year schools. And what that does is basically assures that whatever you take here will transfer to another school. So it's part of my job and it's part of Wendy's job to make sure that whatever class you take here may or may not transfer, but you get the best possible transfer options. Can you talk a little bit about the transfer guides that we have together?
Yeah, we have an entire web page dedicated to Carl Sandburg students, which I think is important to note as well. And on there, we do have one transfer guide that's exactly your catalog, course by course, how it'll transfer. Does it satisfy a general education requirement? What general education requirement does it satisfy? More information than you could ever need to know, but it's all in that Excel doc, and I think that's really helpful. Also, we've built major specific guides. So they outline 2 years at Carl Sandburg, what should you be taking when to complete your associate's degree, and then it outlines the 2 years at Monmouth. So what do you take when to complete your bachelor's degree? We've completed those in some of those most popular majors I've mentioned before, and then we're just working through all of our majors right now to add more of those. I think there's 12 or so on the website already. There's another 7 or 8 in the works. So students continue checking out that page and just looking for those resources.
I think we're all a little bit like panicked and worried and just pretty much fatigued with the whole pandemic thing, but you know, neither of us are transferring to another school at the end of the year. What type of advice would you give to those who are transferring now, whether it be to Monmouth or to another four-year school?
Yeah, we are all exhausted, and I think we acknowledge that. Take your time, take a rest. Like if you need to just relax over Christmas break and not focus on the transfer process, that's fine. We're here when you're ready to think about the process. But also at the same time, keep in mind some of those application deadlines may be approaching, so don't wait too long. Like our full tuition scholarship competition, the deadline's February 15th. So yes, wait until after break, but start thinking about things then. But overall, we're human too. I understand that it's stressful, and it's okay to admit that. If I email you 500, I won't email you 500 times, but if I do and you don't have time to focus on it, tell me. I get it. I understand that.
And important to note in there that while Monmouth College doesn't have an application deadline, some schools do. So depending on what you're looking at, be aware of what's going on and deadlines. The world hasn't fully stopped within this whole pandemic. It has certainly slowed down a little bit, but that's why we have Wendy here to remind us of those things. Any final parting words?
No, I look forward to being at Carl Sandburg in person again, hopefully soon, but probably not until next fall. But in the meantime, I'm here. I'm doing virtual office hours. I'm doing virtual table visits. So whenever anyone has questions, just reach out to me.
Wendy Downing from Monmouth College. Thanks everyone, and be safe out there.